Our next presenter is Roz Tyson from the League of Women Voters, Los Angeles. She serves as co-chair of Voter Service Committee. Ms. Tyson is dedicated to the issues concerning voting and increasing voter turnout. And she is a great friend to the Pat Brown Institute. Please welcome Ms. Roz Tyson.
It's a great privilege to introduce the Pat Brown Institute honoree Nate Kaplan. How many times do people default to a no vote on a state or local ballot measure because it's too convoluted to figure out in the time available, or because the political ads, pro and con, are so confusing? It happens too often. Nate Kaplan saw this problem and didn't just turn away shaking his head. He took action and founded See Political. It's a nonprofit, nonpartisan organization based on the premise that voter information need not be either dry and dull or one-sided and full of misleading half-truths. See Political launched in earnest last June in 2014. It produced 2 short, entertaining, animated videos that outlined the main points of Proposition 41, the bond measure which aimed to increase lending to house homeless veterans, and Prop 42 that proposed to shift the cost of public records compliance from state to local government. See Political next partnered with the League of Women Voters of California to produce videos on 6 of the ballot measures on the November 4th ballot. And most recently, for the March 3rd, 2015 ballot, See Political partnered with the League of Women Voters of Los Angeles to create an animated video on proposed city charter amendments in English, Spanish, and Farsi. In this video, a food truck vendor and 2 talking tacos explain the amendments that change the timing of Los Angeles municipal elections to coincide with county, state, and federal elections. How, you may ask, how is it possible to produce a short, funny, and accurate cartoon about something like a bond measure? Well, See Political volunteer policy analysts first interview proponents and opponents and review ballot language to make sense of the initiatives. Then, animators create a short video where characters like a retro robot illustrate the main points of the measure. At 33, Nate Kaplan has a master's in public policy from USC and an extensive political background, running for state legislature and working as a legislative aide in his home state of Massachusetts, and working as a communications director to Los Angeles City Council member Bill Rosendahl. This background has helped him appreciate both the need and the enormous untapped potential in civic education today. See Political is a new and exciting take on voter information, one that meets voters on their own turf and draws them into the issues on the ballot in a way that empowers them. Now, you will get to see one of See Political's animated shorts. Please turn your attention to the screens.
See Political.
Proposition 42. Who's footing the bill for public records? Do you know what footing the bill means?
Footing makes it sound like sturdy or like stable. So maybe something that's like more stability or sturdy, maybe something like that.
Footing the bill? The person footing the bill is paying for whatever's happening.
That's right. The state picks up the tab when you or anybody else asks a local government like a city, county, or school district for their help to access their public records like emails, letters, and phone logs. The costs come out to about tens of millions of dollars a year. So, the state foots the bill for this service. Prop 42 would change that so that when a city or a county receives a Public Records Act request, the city or county would now foot the bill instead of the state. Either way you vote, you'll still be able to have the same access to information as you do now. It's just a difference of whom you think should pay.
A yes vote means you want the local governments to pay for the costs to follow state laws that give public access to local government information. A no vote means you want the state government to continue to pay the costs for local governments to follow state laws that give public access to local government information.
And now let's have a big round of applause for Nate Kaplan. Take it away.
Thank you for those kind words, Roz. I want to thank the C Political team out there. Raise your hands. I couldn't do this alone. And I want to thank my fiance, Nancy. Most of the good ideas come from her, really. So thank you, Nancy. I also want to thank the Pat Brown Institute. For over 30 years, you have been researching and communicating some of public policy's most vexing problems, and we all benefit from it. So thank you so much. It's an honor to receive this award for creating C Political, a new tool that will truly revolutionize civic engagement and participation. We're offering, now voters in California are able to watch well-produced videos before Election Day. They're not trying to convince you how to vote, but are simply explaining what you are voting on. So most of you are now probably wondering, who is this Nate guy, right? Well, I've been working in state and local government for the past 13 years. I'm originally from Massachusetts, where local politics is sometimes referred to as a full contact sport. Kind of like the NFL, but with slightly fewer head injuries. I got my start working in politics in the historic Massachusetts State House on Beacon Hill. And then I actually ran for office 10 years ago and became the youngest candidate in the 1st Worcester County District to win a primary election. So it was a real culture shock moving to LA in 2007. Most people here think the Grand Old Party is another name for the Coachella Music Festival, I think. Seriously though, I don't have to tell you that California is the place to be. The state is full of talent, and C Political has been able to tap into this talent pool, bringing together politicos, academics, and experts in tech and entertainment, and marketing to create a service whose time has truly come. C Political exists to provide easy to understand information about what's on the ballot. That's fun and relatable. Now, I don't have to tell you that we as a state and a nation face a serious problem. Voter turnout rates are low and continue to plummet. And C Political is offering a solution. C Political is a 501c3 media company designed to educate, inform, and entertain today's voters by creating fun, unbiased explanations about ballot measures, which you can watch on your TV, your mobile device, your computer, wherever you are, whenever you want. And it's a lot better than having to read this thing. We all know what this is, right? Well, I was inspired to create C Political while working for none other than Bill Rosendahl, my mentor. Let's have a round of applause for Bill, please. Thank you, Bill. If you remember Bill's public affairs show, it had the same goal, offering truthful information that was interesting to watch. And that's the name of our game, too. I came up with the idea for C Political when I was working as Bill's communications director in 2008, when he was on the Los Angeles City Council. And I got a call from the LA Times wondering how he was going to vote on the ballot. Having only lived in California for about a year at this point, I was still less familiar with our direct democracy system and could not believe that voters are expected to read volumes of information before Election Day. And you might recall that Prop 8 was on the ballot that year. And Bill, being the first openly gay councilman in LA history, thought he was going to vote yes on Prop 8. I said, no, Bill, you're going to vote no on Prop 8, right? Because yes meant no, and no meant yes. It was really confusing. That's when the little light bulb went off in my head. And I thought, if a seasoned politician like Bill Rosendahl and a paid staffer like me are having this much problems figuring it out, what the heck are the rest of the voters supposed to do? Is it any wonder that people aren't participating or interested in voting when this is our primary source of information? Heavy text guides don't work anymore. People want to watch engaging content. And guess what? We want to bring it to them. See Political is making civics and voter education fun and easy to access, and always remaining unbiased in our explanations. We partner with some great organizations like the League of Women Voters, ABC, Univision, Otis College of Art and Design, USC, LA Times, and many more. Our first videos in 2012 were watched by a couple hundred people. Our last videos in November were watched by a couple million people in English and Spanish throughout California. Thank you. Thank you so much. I guess you could say we're on a roll. So far we've been able to produce fun, unbiased content about California's ballot propositions. And we want to produce informative content about the electoral process too. Think Schoolhouse Rocks meets the 21st century in every state in the US. It can be done. And we're already working on next year's ballot measures. And guess what? There's gonna be a lot of them. But we hope to work with all of you, really. And in front of you, and in your little packet, you have one of these ballots. Take it out. And we want you to mark it up on your way out, because we're going to choose 2 of you to appear in our next video in 2016. After all votes are cast, we'll randomly select 2 of you at our next board meeting to make a cameo appearance as either a character or a voiceover actor in our next video. So please drop those ballots off in those pretty striped white and red and blue boxes on your way out. You all do so much here to improve the electoral process, and I'm really humbled to be in your presence. Now together, we can help millions more understand the issues on the ballot and participate in the sacred decision-making process that is voting. And thanks again to the Pat Brown Institute. Your work truly inspires new approaches, and I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roz Tyson. Congratulations to Nate Kaplan, and wishing you both continued success.